Good morning, everybody. This is the first live stream of the Matrixx and Rhodes show, and we're actually doing this really early in the morning here. I believe this is the earliest I've ever live streamed, to tell you the truth. Have you live streamed? Have you live streamed any earlier than this?
Yeah, on the Rhodes Ranch channel. Yeah.
Oh, you
back in the
did?
day. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, I got up one morning and randomly went live over there at like 4 a.m. because I was bored.
okay.
This was when I
first.
Yeah, this was when I was still single and I was just sitting around the house and I was like, F it, I'll go live. And I actually had some folks show up back then. It was pretty interesting.
Okay. Well, this is going to be interesting for this channel since we rebranded it. This channel's back to its roots, talking about entertainment. And guys, I'm honestly tired. I probably look tired. I need to shower after this stream. I've been up since like 1 a.m. I am beat. Very, very beat. So, and we still got a live stream at 10. So I'll probably end up crashing and taking a nap after this. Actually, before we hit live, I actually was sitting in this chair, dozed off. But I'm here. Whose idea was this? Was this your idea or mine?
Well, it was your idea to go live, but it was my idea to do it this early because A, I got to go to my dad's after we sports stream.
Yep.
And B, everybody looks for these reviews first thing in the morning. So you got to try to get them up as quick as you can or you're going to miss a bunch of traffic. I learned that when I was doing Mandalorian reviews.
Gotcha. Well, these reviews, this is usually Rhodes' thing, and of course, Boba Fett is one of his favorite characters, so he'll probably be taking the lead a lot on this. But, what time did I watch this? Started watching this like at 3 something in the morning. I've only watched it once, and Rhodes watched it 2 times already. Yeah, Bob Swads, episode 4 was okay. We're gonna dive into that. Okay, now
we're gonna get in it.
My impressions of the first 3 episodes, the show is trash. First 3 episodes, no doubt, trash. Way below The Mandalorian. Way below. I don't even think that's that's not even debatable.
If you didn't know any better, you would think the 2 shows were made by 2 completely separate entities.
Yeah.
No relation whatsoever. Like none. Like you would look, the first 3 episodes, if I didn't know any better, I would have thought Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson did the first 3 episodes.
Yes, it was Last Jedi level bad.
I shit you not. That's exactly what I was feeling at so many times during the first 3 episodes. So especially that last episode when they brought in the all those awful bikers and the Pee Wee Herman bikes and all those guys that were supposed to be badasses that had the droid technology, but yet they didn't look like badasses at all. I was expecting something like, T-1000 from the Terminator, and instead I got a bunch of Gen Zs with one with a cyborg rip-off eye from DC Comics, and
he's calling people mate. Have you ever heard anybody say the word mate in Star Wars?
No.
Me neither. I was like, and overall, guys, I don't know what it is. Maybe Jon Favreau doesn't understand what Tatooine is. It's pretty easy to tell that some of these scenes, and even in episode 4, I got a problem with these cantina scenes. I got a major problem with those. But this episode was the best episode of the series. And I must say, this was an okay episode. Still got some problems, but it was okay. What is your initial impression, Rhodes?
Well, I thought it was good. I thought this episode was good. It felt a lot more like what I expected in the beginning. And
still doesn't feel like Star Wars overall to me.
Well, the episode did singular, but we're talking
some
singular.
Some things singular scenes.
But I mean, this was like episode 1. Like we both
Yes,
said, as soon as it was
this,
over, it was like, why wasn't this episode 1 at
this should have been
minimum
episode
episode
one
2?
because how many episodes are there total? 8? I think it's 8. It took
7.
him
I
4
think there's only 7.
Okay, so it took him 4 episodes to get to an episode that should have been the first episode. Now we both
Yeah,
agree, man, that the
yeah.
Tuscan stuff way too long. I actually could have done without the Tuscans. I really could. I think it was a complete waste of time.
I got what they were doing. We found out today, essentially, he was with the Tuscans for 5 years.
Yeah.
Because the Mandalorian took place 5 years
5
after
years
Return of the
afterwards.
Jedi.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when the Mandalorian started. So he was with them that long, and I understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to show some character progression for Boba, but at minimum, that should have all been condensed into one episode if they were going to do the Tuscan thing.
Right.
I mean,
or
just
maybe
condense,
just half in an episode.
just
I mean, the
condense
stuff with
it
the
into
train
one.
with the Tuscans, that was awful. I didn't like that.
Okay, see, I didn't mind that, but I liked the second. Actually, I liked the second episode after seeing it again much more than I liked it the first time. I didn't like episode 1, and I absolutely hated episode 3. I mean, I hated it with a passion, not known to man.
Yeah.
It was, it flirted. I'm going to tell you, it was worse than Solo with no questions. No questions
I
asked.
didn't even like Solo.
It was worse than Solo. Yeah.
We got a super chat here, Rhodes. Phoenix Tangent with $5. Coffee money for early morning live streams. Thank you. It's so good to be monetized again, folks. I mean, YouTube has been killing this channel for the greater part of a year. So really do appreciate the financial support. Hasta la roster for $2. Series N is Kylo killing Boba. I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like. No. Well, they'll have to go way into the future for him to do that.
Maybe they're going to have Kylo do it as a kid
to show some of his dark side stuff, because there's rumors that Han Solo is going to be in this.
I can almost guarantee it. Yeah. Yeah. But if that happens, Rose
is going to lose it.
I'll ass screw this series to death in a live stream.
But
I will destroy this SOB.
It better be a Harrison Ford DH one instead of Alden Ehrenreich. Knowing Disney, they're probably throwing Alden Ehrenreich.
It'll be Harrison.
Yeah, I've heard about rumors about de-aging Han Solo.
If they get Kylo involved, I mean, that alone, I will look. I don't want the damn sequel trilogy involved in these series.
There's no reason even to connect it.
Don't go there. You're leading up. All of these series is going to combine into an Avengers Endgame like event. That's where he's heading. That's what he's doing. Ahsoka is going to be tied in. The Mandalorian is going to be tied in. Whatever series I think even Obi-Wan, even though it's pre original trilogy, it's supposed to have some tie-in to all of these Favreau kind of series, and it's all he's setting up an Avengers Endgame event that may or may not end up in the theater is actually what they're setting up. A massive conclusion that brings everybody together. Now, I will tell you this. If this series ends with a DH Han Solo popping a cap in Boba, I'd be okay with that. If they
but right now, man, they've made Boba Fett too much of an honorable man for that to happen. They have.
Was Boba not honorable though?
But this Boba Fett in this show, I mean, they even said it in nobody respects you. He's trying to be a crime lord, but he's not really a criminal.
Well, I had a real problem with that too.
Yeah,
I've got a real problem.
Even Fennec Shan says you being with the Tuscans have made you soft.
I'm glad they acknowledged that. I mean, at least look, if they wrote that, then Jon Favreau is aware that people is at some point going to say that if he literally put a line in there like that. If he's like, I'm aware this Boba is not disintegrating everybody. You know, I mean, look, Darth Vader made a point to point at him and say no disintegration.
Right.
Because look, he's just popping caps in fools.
But even when Boba was a boy, Clone Wars, he tried to have Mace Windu killed.
Boba was a little asshole in that
and
series.
Didn't even think twice about it.
He was a little mean prick.
Yeah,
in
he
the
was.
Clone Wars. Absolutely.
Yes, he was.
And I loved it. And I loved it, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Also, Ross's $2 is as soon as he switched to dark. Talking about Kylo Ren, but he didn't switch to the dark side until roughly 5-6 years before The Force Awakens. So that's way too far in the future.
We think he could have some secret.
He could have, you know what? He could have had some Anakin tendencies in Episode 2 when he kills the Tuscans. You know?
Yeah.
And you know what? People bash the Phantom Menace, but I really do love that scene when he's talking to Padme when he's fixing that shop and they're playing the Emperor's thing in the background, and Anakin's like, I slaughtered them like animals. I hate them. I love that part right there.
That was in Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones, yeah.
We're for full disclosure, my wife had never seen. She's a Star Wars, had not seen any of them. Okay, so we've been on a mission to marathon the Star Wars movies, and we started with the prequels. Okay,
well, there's some debate about which order you should watch them in.
So we got to last night, Revenge of the Sith, and we ended up having to go to bed, but she stayed up long enough that we got all the way to the turn. Okay. And when Anakin's on his knees in front of Palpatine,
yeah,
and he says, you know,
thank you, my master.
I'm from this day forward, you're Darth Vader. And my wife raised up in bed and said, he's Darth Vader. Are you kidding? This kid is Darth Vader.
So she didn't even know that Anakin was Vader.
No, I didn't tell her.
But so she knew who Vader was, though, before him.
Oh, yeah. She knows. Okay. Everybody knows who Darth Vader is. I mean, they know he's like the baddest villain in the history of movies. But she had no idea that's where we was going. You know, she knew that was the Emperor and all that. Like, she realized that as we was going. But it was pretty cool to hear her reaction because she was like, holy F. She was like, that's crazy. And then she was like, do we get to see him put the suit on? And I said,
you'll see.
Just hang tight. We got the last 45
She's still
minutes
in here,
to go.
Right? She's still in here, right?
Probably.
Yeah, so I can't say what I want to say then. So.
She's driving to work right now. Yeah.
Gotcha. Osler Rasta, $5. I'm from LA. Trust me, the series ends with Kylo killing Boba because he goes after Han. Boba is an old man, and it shows that Kylo's dark side. I think that's what he said. Yeah, I was thinking actually, you know, Han's gonna make that appearance. I still don't think you're gonna see. Well, time period wise, Ben Solo's probably not even born yet. If he is, he's probably a little baby. Baby. So he wouldn't be killing Boba Fett.
If the only way that would happen now, because of the character development that Boba's undertaken since being with the Tuscans, the only way that would happen is if something sets Boba off where he reverts back. If he has a moment like, and of course, you don't watch Westerns, but there's one of the best Westerns ever is Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven. Have you ever seen that?
That came out in... I may have seen it. I know the name, but...
Okay. You got some... Go watch it, man. You will watch that movie and you'll be like, Rhodes, that is one of the best damn films I have ever seen. It won Best Picture.
Okay.
So the only way that would happen, considering the development of Boba's character and how the Tuscans sort of calmed him down, The only way this would happen is if he's like William Money from The Unforgiven. Now, he was a ruthless outlaw, but then he met his wife and she calmed him down. Okay.
Right.
But we flash forward, we go forward. William Money is an old man. His wife has passed away. Well, they go to collect a bounty to kill some guys that messed up this woman real bad, scarred her up, cut her up real bad. They put a bounty out there, and him and Morgan Freeman go after this bounty. Okay. Morgan Freeman's his best friend. Well, something bad happens towards the end, and it flips a switch back to the old ruthless outlaw days in Clint Eastwood. And and he starts wrecking damn shop. Now that would be freaking cool. That would be cool. Yeah.
Now this is another issue right here. Officer Rossa brings this up. Well, he didn't bring it up as an issue, but he says for $2. Is it in the future Boba is an old man? Now, Boba Fett, this is 5 years after Return of the Jedi. Now, timeline-wise, okay? Boba Fett is roughly going to be, he should be like in his late 30s at this point. Tamora Morrison is 60. So really, he should look pretty much the way he looked in Attack of the Clones as Jango Fett, with hair and everything. Now, Tamora Morrison is in pretty good shape, but you can tell Boba is clearly not late 30s, because Attack of the Clones takes place 3 years before Revenge of the Sith. And then Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope is 20 years later.
Right.
And this time period is roughly close to 10 years after A New Hope, because the original trilogy is like 5 to 6 year period. And then you have this jumping another 5 years. So he should be roughly in his late 30s. So, yeah, that's a little bit of an issue, but I'm not going to nitpick that too much.
And he doesn't have hair, I assume, because
he doesn't have hair.
The Sarlacc, right?
I guess they kind of put that in there because Tamora Morrison now is bald headed.
Right. But I mean, I can get the correlation between,
and they do good because he's scarred up. Even though in this final episode, it says he's completely healed. What's up, Echo Base?
Yeah, Rosvin's in here, old school. What's up, Rosvin?
What's going on?
You.
Now,
that's so cool. The EU story, Boba is supposed to be the Mandalorian, and Gina Carano's character is his wife. That's interesting. Now, one thing we talked about a minute ago, and we've got to acknowledge this. The Mandalorian is a much better Boba Fett than Boba Fett.
My biggest problem with this show is this Boba Fett is not the original trilogy Boba Fett, not even remotely close. The Boba Fett in the original trilogy, Empire and Jedi, was very, very mysterious. Didn't say a whole lot, and even Tamora Morrison acknowledged that, and pretty much, came out and slammed not J.J. Abrams, but Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni. He was like, dude, I'm talking too much. And he has his helmet off way too much. He wanted Fennec Shand to do more of the talking because he wanted to keep Boba more mysterious. And I think that's the way it should have been.
I think Favreau and Filoni sat down and number one, I think this was a rush job. Okay. I think this whole series was a rush job because I think they knew Boba was coming, but then I think they filmed the tragedy. They brought Robert Rodriguez in, they filmed it.
Yeah.
And they realized, holy crap, this is really good. Holy moly. They watched the episode. They saw it.
Even in the tragedy, that Boba Fett was much more ruthless than this one.
That's what I'm saying. He was much more like Boba Fett.
Right.
And it makes you think, well, did they see that in post-production? They sat down, watched it, and was like, holy crap, fans are going to love this. And then they went, let's greenlight a series. Let's greenlight a series. And then all of a sudden it was like, crap, we've wrote an entire series already that's out. And the Mandalorian is Boba Fett. What do we do with Boba Fett's character now? Because we got a whole series where Din Djarin is really acts just like Boba Fett.
Right.
What do we do now? Because we've got a whole another series that is actually Boba Fett. What do we do with that character? Because we can't have Din Djarin and Boba Fett on at the same time and be the same character. I would argue you could, and I would be okay with that.
Well, speaking of, spoiler alert, they set up the return of Din Djarin at the end of this episode.
Yes,
because Fennec Shan says we need, I can't remember exact words, like we need allies or something like that, and they played the Mandalorian theme.
We need hired hands. In other words,
that's what it was. Yeah,
muscle. We need hired muscle.
Yeah,
and yeah, it does say it in the title, but this is full of spoilers, people.
Yeah, and last we checked, doesn't seem like Din Djarin has much to do lately. He didn't have Baby Yoda anymore, so what does he really need to be doing now?
Well, supposedly he's going to Mandalore, but we don't we don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, but even in the Mandalorian, they said that Mandalore is a wasteland now.
Well, we also know that the way they got the Mandalorian set up, he takes these side missions during these seasons,
Yeah.
Which so anyway, I guess we ought to talk about The Gathering Storm. That's the name of the episode.
Yeah.
So I just realized, I was like, we're 22 minutes in.
Well, I was kind of getting into it and everything, but one major problem, man, I don't know what it is. They don't seem to realize what Tatooine is. Certain things do not feel like Tatooine. The people in that, I guess you can call it a tattoo shop where Fennec Shan gets repaired, hated it. None of those characters fit on Tatooine or in Star Wars in general. Don't look like it, don't feel like it. I was like, oh shit, this is going to be awful again.
None of them. And I finally drew a correlation between how these characters make me feel. The Pee Wee Herman bike characters.
Yeah.
And those characters in the quote unquote droid parlor / tattoo parlor, they make me feel like Trace and Rafa made me feel in those middle episodes of the Clone Wars.
Oh, in Coruscant. But you know what? Some of those characters feel like they could have belonged on Coruscant. They're just on the wrong planet.
Well, those characters don't feel like they're in Star Wars at all.
No. But as far as like the bikers go, those bikes seem like they belong somewhere on Coruscant if they're going to be in Star Wars.
That's why I drew the correlation with Rian Johnson, because my opinion, it was one of the worst things about The Last Jedi is that entire Canto Bight situation.
Awful.
None of it feels like Star Wars.
No.
None of it. None of
it at all.
Different movie, different genre, the whole nine. Yeah.
And a lot of the cantina scenes in this show haven't really felt like Star Wars either. To me.
See, I don't mind the cantina scenes, where Max Rebo's playing and all that. I've got no problem with that.
Like I like Ludwig Gorson. I love it. The theme to Creed is amazing. Some of his themes don't feel like Star Wars in this.
It took too long for them to get back to Boba Fett's theme that he had in The Mandalorian,
Yeah.
And actually, if you go listen to that entire, you can get the extended version of that, and that theme is actually mended in with his theme from The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So it's really cool. The extended version of his actual theme is really good. I downloaded it, put it on my MP3 player.
Yeah, his Black Panther theme is really good too.
So we're into this new episode. I don't know how exactly you want to approach this. This particular episode was the tone I was expecting from this series.
Yes, it should have been the first episode, like we said before.
Yeah, I mean, we got to episode 4 and got episode 1. That's not good storytelling.
Out of
That's
7
not the way this
episodes.
works. Huh?
Out of 7 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, of a limited series. The only thing I can think is, have they already greenlit season 2 and we just don't know it?
I don't know. You would think they would have to have a season 2 at this point because they wasted the first 3 episodes for sure.
I mean, they said limited series, but that has always been with the caveat that if this is successful, they could still do ongoing seasons, because the Bad Batch was only supposed to be a limited series, and we know it's coming back. So, you know, series ends and it's over. Look, if it comes back and it's highly successful, they're not going to end this.
But the thing
Ain't
is,
a
man,
chance in hell.
You brought this up. The Rotten Tomatoes score has tanked on this show. Tanked.
It's bad as of right now, and I went over. There's no audience scores showing up for episode 4 yet, but as of right now, I mean, hell, I'll just share it. The Rotten Tomatoes, it's plummeted since I made that video the other day. Plummeted. I mean, look at this shit. 63% from the audience. 63%? Are you kidding me?
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what the Mandalorian's got right now?
It's like a 90.
A 91. Right? A 91 from the audience.
Wow.
Nearly 30%.
Yeah. Now this episode may bump it up a little bit, because I think this may be the best episode here.
Oh, I think no question. This
no question about it.
No question.
No question. But still got problems, but
yeah.
Most of the episode is still flashbacks, and that's probably a big problem I have too. The whole story overall is not moving forward because so much of it has been flashbacks. But it was interesting. The Sarlacc pit scene, we got to talk about that.
Yeah.
That looked good. That looked really good. And they brought back the prequels episode 2 seismic charger. And they used that to destroy the Sarlacc.
The Sarlacc. Yeah. I like that. That entire scene gave me the feeling, I don't know, everybody's going to know when I say this, Jaws 2, when the shark comes up out of nowhere to grab the helicopter, that's the feeling I got from this scene. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. This harkens back to Jaws 2, coming out of nowhere and grabbing that helicopter and trying to pull it down. And we know, spoiler alert, if you ain't seen Jaws 2, I don't know what to tell you after 40 years, but you know, he brings the helicopter down. Well, I kind of got that feeling in this scene. I was like, okay, this is really pretty cool. You're right. The seismic charge, I love the sound of it.
The sound of it. And you have to be, I remember being in the movie theater listening to that sound.
Oh,
it was really good.
It was
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they brought that back. And also to the special edition haters out there, they respected the special edition, and the Sarlacc pit looks like it did in the special edition. It looks like the eggplant from Little House of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
So Seymour. Seymour.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Yeah. So I really liked that. It was nice to see the asshole droid from Return of the Jedi back in Jabba's palace.
You're a feisty little one. Same voice. I wonder if it's the same actor.
You will soon learn some respect.
Yes. I wonder if it was the same actor, because the voice was exactly the same. Exactly the same.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
They nailed the voice.
Oh, Favreau is a big prequels fan, because I don't know if you've noticed, one, you remember in season 1 of The Mandalorian, that creature that he went one-on-one with that had the horn like a rhinoceros?
Oh,
And,
the
and he put and he drug him through the mud and all that crap, and Grogu had to stop
oh
it.
yeah.
Well, you know that's the same creature from Attack of the Clones at the end during the Geonosis gladiator arena scene. That's the exact same creature. So you can tell Favreau's got some. He said there's going to be some prequel stuff in here that people are going to like.
Well, it has to be because Tamora Morrison's Boba Fett is really a prequel creation.
Yeah, true.
That's why you see the flashbacks of Camino. I'm wondering if we're going to go back to Camino, because Camino's destroyed now. Remember, they destroyed it in the Bad Batch.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm wondering if we're going to go back and see the remnants or something like that.
So I don't know. I think there's some things that Favreau is trying to include here. He knows there's a lot of prequel fans out there. So he's trying to give some people some things. But what I was getting to was the droid that was in there with the asshole droid from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Did you notice he came up with his arms with all those blades?
Yes.
AKA General Grievous.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
I noticed that.
I was like, oh, Grievous. And that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, but Fennec Shand gave him the throat slice, which was nice. But I
didn't like the mouse catching droid. I didn't like that droid.
Really? See,
I didn't really like it.
We actually laughed this morning at the mouse droid, because when he found out he was Boba Fett, he was like, "Oh, F it, click."
He did. Yeah, he just powered himself off. Now, controversy here.
Uh-oh.
Boba Fett did call out the name of his ship. And it ain't Slave One. He did say fire spray, and I just dropped my head. I was like, why even bring this up? Because in no movie did you even hear the name Slave One.
Yeah.
You never heard. So what was the point? We know why Disney changed the name, because they want to be woke. We get that. But they made an effort to actually say the name of this ship. They could have had Boba Fett say, "Hey, going to get my ship back." They made an effort to say fire spray.
I know it. And look, this is the kind of things that Disney does not think about when it comes to the impact that Star Wars made on people. Okay. And I'll just tell you a little story. I was outraged when I found out that they were changing that name. And it's because for a lot of us, Star Wars was about family. Okay.
Right.
And hasta la rasta, you're wrong. You're wrong. And I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. I'm going to share my screen right quick.
Okay.
But you see this? You see this toy right here on the right? And it says the Slave One. Okay. Awesome box. We all know those boxes were great. The packaging was great. You know, as kids, it's not about the story, and that's what I'm getting to. You remember those things as children. It makes impacts on you, okay? And I'm going to tell you why that was such a big deal to me. My brother bought me that Slave One when I was 5 years old, okay? He got it for me for Christmas. And I can remember him giving that. And I love the Slave One. It's my second favorite ship next to the Millennium Falcon. You know, Han and Boba are intertwined for me. And I got that ship for Christmas from my brother. And then 2 years later, my brother died. Okay. And so hasta la rasta, while you're being a smart ass fuck in the comment section, it's not always about the story. People draw relationships to their families involving Star Wars. And that made an impact on me as a child, you know. The name of that ship, the packaging, all that makes me think about my brother.
But
Okay,
also
I
think it
draw a
is.
relationship there.
Think it
Okay,
is. This is the major problem here. Disney will go out and they will change stuff that doesn't need to be changed. Now, he says that it was time for a change. What
why?
if they change the name of the Millennium Falcon to something else? What would be the point of it? What's the
What was
point of
the
the name
point?
change?
Right.
Yeah, that's my problem with it. I mean, what if they just all of a sudden like the Millennium Falcon through all these movies is known as the Millennium Falcon, but all of a sudden in the next movie they're gonna call it that's the the storm gunner. You like storm gunner? Why is that? And they don't even explain it. Why? You just have to take it for what it is. It doesn't make any sense. They didn't need to touch this.
Look, let's strip it back. We know it was a bullshit social statement from Disney.
Right.
That's why they did that. There wasn't we wasn't drawing any correlations between the two. Yeah, it does for me, and that's the point, dude.
Now, also, do you think
That's the point. What it does for you has nothing to do with me, but my opinion counts, and the way that makes me feel counts. And some of you other fans don't get that. Disney doesn't get that, and that's why Disney has fucked up Star Wars. Let's be
yeah,
real, okay?
you can't even
Because
get
they don't
slave
get
layer
that.
stuff. Slave layer stuff gone.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was iconic. That was iconic.
That's just crazy. I'm getting triggered for triggered's sake. No, I'm telling you, the name has an impact on me as a fan, and there's reasons behind that. That's what Star Wars did for everybody.
Right.
Okay, something drew a correlation, for everybody. Um,
Here's another example. Here's another example right here. It made absolutely no sense whatsoever for Luke to be using Anakin's lightsaber in The Last Jedi. It didn't make any sense. He's a fully trained Jedi. He had his lightsaber, his green lightsaber, didn't even use it. And we caught on to that.
right.
Didn't you have a problem with that? Him using Anakin's lightsaber?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we noticed that. Yeah. That's when woke makes you an idiot. That's what happens. When woke makes you an idiot, that's what happens. Crazy, just crazy. I see that, and I'm just like, really? I mean, that's how you process. Okay, do better, do better. So anyway,
But anyway, let's
I
let's
mean,
go ahead.
I appreciate him in the chat, but do better. Let's see where we at. You did not like the interaction with the bantha. I did.
I didn't see. That's another thing, man. Too much details. I really didn't need to know. Like the Tuscan stuff went too far. I didn't need him to really engage with the bantha like that. He's talking to the bantha way too much. I want Boba Fett to be definitely more quiet, more mysterious. And now you just made him completely soft, with the bantha. I didn't like that. I didn't like the interaction.
It didn't bother me, and we touched on this a little bit, but I'm going to tell you why that didn't bother me. Boba Fett and the Mandalorian both kind of harken back to westerns for me. And even your most ruthless outlaw is going to have a relationship with his horse. Okay.
I get that.
That's a thing. They're going
that.
to call their horse whatever they call him, Sparky, whatever their horse's name is. They're going to have a relationship with that horse. When they get off of it, they're going to pat it on its head. They're going to rub it underneath there, even if they just blew somebody's brains out an hour ago. Okay.
Well,
so it's
think
not
of this,
that
man.
big of a
in
stretch.
Empire, Han and Luke, they were riding tom-toms. We didn't need to know their interaction, their interconnection with the Tom Toms. That's all I'm saying. They're just riding it. That's all we need to know.
Well, right, but we got to assume. I'm guessing that he's had this bantha longer than they had those tauntauns.
But we don't really know.
We don't know, but I assume that was. Oh well, he rode in on that bantha when he found everybody had been killed, so he's had that bantha a while. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, we can assume he's had it since he got with the Tuscans, right? And we know that he
could
had
assume,
been with
yeah.
them for a long time. So, I mean, I have no issues with it. I mean, I that kind of stuff doesn't bother me. I mean, he doesn't always have to be. I know that was part of his character, but it doesn't mean he can't. His character can't progress some. And yeah, I mean, look how big of an a-hole Han Solo is. He's a complete jerk. I
Yeah.
love Han, and that's one of the reasons I love Han, because he's sarcastic and he's a smart ass and he can be downright mean. But I mean, he's got this good relationship with his damn ship and Chewie and all this sort of thing. So I don't know that, you know, that's a big stretch for me. But
hey, Alsa, thanks for the super chat. Yeah, we're gonna move on from it, man. We already know we're not gonna get anywhere on this between you and Rhodes. So, but thanks.
No, absolutely not. Let's see, where are we at? Fire spray is dumb.
You have a list, right?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Okay, gotcha.
I took notes. I took notes the second time. I do like the fact that at least Fennec acknowledges that Boba's gone soft.
Yes, I pointed that out. She said that the Tuscans made you soft. Now we don't know if she knew Boba beforehand or knew his reputation.
She did because she asked him. She said, "What's your name?"
Oh yeah, that's right. She said
he says Boba Fett, and she's
Boba
like,
Fett, and she says Boba Fett is dead.
And she's supposed to be a badass herself, but when he said Boba Fett, it was like even she took note and got a little like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, she knew. Yeah, it was interesting that at least Favreau acknowledged that people were going to notice the change in Boba's character, I guess. And he figured he had to address it and why it happened. And I guess the explanation is his time with the Tuscans, right?
But the thing is, the Mandalorian, when he's in that, takes place way after he's with the Tuscans. He's ruthless in that.
And he's ruthless. Right.
Yeah.
So
even when he goes after his armor and he's fighting the Mandalorian, I think he's fighting the Mandalorian for his armor. He's like, that's my armor. I want it. He's authoritative with that.
Do you think he's going to flip a switch at some point?
Man, I don't know.
Are they saving that? Is that like last episode? I'm going to tell you one of my issues.
I mean, if so, man, he would have taken out Black Chrysanthemum when Black Chrysanthemum was sent to kill him. But except, you know what? You can have a job. No, you're free. You can go.
I was like, what? What do you mean you're free? Freeze that damn Wookiee in carbonite. That's what I was thinking. Literally, yes. I was like, what do you mean free to go?
Are we going to see any? Speaking of, are we going to see any carbon freezing?
I don't know. That's
because he has a ship back now. So
I don't know. Let me.
Something tell me we probably will.
I wonder if we're going to get a progression where he's going to flip a switch. Is something going to happen that's going to set him off?
Yeah, like Cobra Kai. Terry Silver at the beginning of this past season of Cobra Kai. He's not Terry Silver. He's Terrence Silver. And by the end of the show, he is full Terry Silver again.
Okay. So maybe he's progressing And they're going to give us a moment where for 2 episodes, Boba's killing everybody.
What's up, Susan?
Yay, Susan. What's going on? Maybe that's what they're building up to is Boba's going to have a something happen. Maybe Fennec's going to die.
I don't think they're going to kill her off.
Maybe. Well, if they kill off,
I think it's kind of gotten to the point now to where Fennec is Boba's right-hand man. I don't think they're going to kill her off.
But it would make sense if they kill her off. Now she's a female character. She's a female character, so if they kill her off, they may get some backlash for that. But
from the SJWs, the SJWs ain't watching this anyway.
I like the cantina. I like the fact that the Wookiee was wrecking shop. I like the fact that when he went to put down the Trandoshan, he still pulled his arm off and dropped it on the ground.
Yes, because I was wondering for a second, is he really gonna just let him go? But I like the fact that Black Chrysanthemum pulled one of the arms out at least.
Yeah. I mean, I like that Wookiee, actually. I like the fact that it tells you forget sometimes in Star Wars that species are just that. You expect them to all act the same, and there's going to be bad Wookiees. Yeah. You know, there's going to be bad Wookiees. There's going to be good Wookiees like Chewbacca. And I like the fact that we got a completely different kind of Wookiee. That's pretty cool.
He's the first bad Wookiee we've really seen.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because, going back all the way to A New Hope, Han says Wookiees have been known to pull people's arms out. And actually in The Force Awakens deleted scene, Chewbacca pulls out the arms of Unkar Plutt in a deleted scene.
That's right. That was Simon Pegg playing that character, I think.
Right. Yeah. Awful character, by the way.
Terrible character. Absolutely terrible. Yep. So anyway, one little touch I did like. And it did show a little bit of ruthlessness, a little bit of what a crime lord would do. And it did flex a little muscle. It's when he had everybody around the eating table. They're having their meeting and everything. And then
you notice there's a little Godfather type music going on.
Yeah. And when you realize he's got them all setting on the trap door for the Rancor pit, it's like, oh, okay. He lets them know right there. If you give me shit, I'll pull this trap door. The Rancor actually shows up, coming up from underneath. I thought that was a good touch. I'm going to tell you why so many people are struggling with this show, and it's why I'm struggling with it.
Why is that?
I expected The Sopranos in space.
Haven't really got that.
That if I was ever going to get a Star Wars, and they acknowledge this, Underworld series, that this was going to be about
well, you remember George Lucas had Underworld 100 episodes written in 2005, and then we got like a sneak peek a few years ago. It looked really good.
Oh, it looked great. It looked freaking great. Yeah. I thought it was going to be sort of like a Sopranos in space, with obviously without the sex, but
right.
That kind of level of dialogue and interaction between crime bosses and all this, and ruthlessness and plotting. We just haven't gotten that from this series at all. Let's be honest. The first 3 episodes had Disney just splattered all over.
True. No doubt about it. All right. Asa Larasa, Han did progress in the original trilogy. He was a scumbag to a leader of the rebellion. He believed in nothing, then he believed in the rebellion. Now, you're right about that. His character did progress. Like, in the first A New Hope, he wanted his money. He's like, it's suicide. Better. What's the good of having money if he ain't around to use it? To the point to where he goes after Luke and Empire, and it's freezing outside, and he says your tauntaun to freeze to death. He said, "Yeah, and my friend's out there in it, or something like that."
Yeah, I'll see you in hell.
I'll
Yeah,
see you
that's
in
right.
hell. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's acknowledge the ending. We already talked about it when they talked about hired muscle. The Mandalorian's theme comes on.
Yep.
Din Djarin's theme comes on.
He's coming back.
We know.
Were you surprised by that?
I actually missed it the first time I
Yeah,
watched it.
you missed it. I caught it immediately because they played the Mandalorian thing. I was like, oh, Din Djarin's coming back. I guess I should have known he would probably show up, but it just didn't cross my mind that he would.
I missed it completely. I was sitting there, and the second time I watched it, and she said hired muscle, and all of a sudden the Mandalorian's theme. And I even jumped off the bed, and I turned around to Melissa and was like, the Mandalorian's coming back. Cool. So, but we knew that. We had heard that Din Djarin was going to be in this. But some other characters were already supposed to be in this or were coming back. Like, look, Carl Weathers' Grief Karga is supposed to be in this show.
I can see him doing that. But you know who I really want to see in the show, but I don't think it's going to happen? I would like to see Boba, this version of Boba right here, come face to face with Luke. What would happen?
We haven't seen that yet.
Something is telling me Disney's going to be like, Boba's going to say, no hard feelings, and put out his hand. I don't want to see that. But that's something they would do, man.
Well, I mean, what is he going to do if he comes face to face with Han? Han's the one that knocked him into the pit.
Yes. Maybe he'll say, no hard feelings. It's just a job. I don't want to see that.
Is that
I want to see him go after Han for that.
I actually think Boba and Han may end up working together.
I got that feeling too, man.
I think that's coming. I do.
But if you're Han, I guess the storyline would have to be, oh, Han, I don't trust him, but I need the money. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, if there was money,
may work. But but him working with Boba Fett, after Boba Fett captured him, put it in carbonite, won't make any sense. I guess it would have to be the right circumstance. Han would need to be truly desperate, but yet he still doesn't trust him.
Well, I could see Han possibly struggling with that partnership more than Boba, because, you know, he carried him off the Jabba the Hutt. They had to go to all that trouble. Han doesn't trust a lot anyway. I can only imagine what Chewbacca's response would be the first time.
Chewie would try to kill.
He would try to rip Boba's head right off his shoulders. Right off his shoulders, which would be a cool moment if he grabbed him and choked him and raised him up, you know.
But here's the thing. Why would Han be on Tatooine? Because clearly Boba ain't leaving Tatooine. We have not gotten off Tatooine at all. I just noticed there's been nothing in space.
Okay. I was about to get to that. That's a serious flaw in this series, and it's got me scared to death of Obi-Wan.
For Obi-Wan? Yeah.
I am running out of patience with freaking sand everywhere. Okay.
I don't like sand.
Yeah.
It's coarse. It gets everywhere.
Look, that's going to be a serious flaw if this series does not get off that damn planet. I mean, come on. It's got to. Somehow, some way.
But it just seems like it's the Tatooine underworld.
Do you know how cool it would be to see Boba Fett back on Coruscant?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
They need to leave Obi-Wan. Will be all
Tatooine.
Yeah.
I guess the whole show on Tatooine.
I got that feeling.
He's getting off. He's getting off that planet.
In there. But Vader's in this show.
He's going to fight Vader again. That's the understanding.
Some people are thinking it's going to be in a dream sequence. I don't think so. I think they want them to stand toe to toe fully again.
again. Yeah.
That's
I
going to
can't.
piss off a lot of people.
But he implied they came face to face again. He did. I keep telling people in A New Hope, he
Yeah, but
implied
in
that.
a new hope, because you remember at the end of Revenge of the Sith, he leaves Anakin there, and we're under the impression that they've never seen each other again. But in A New Hope, he tells Luke he's more machine now than man.
Twisted and evil.
Evil.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that was in Empire, I think, when he said that. But he knows that Vader's out there,
and he knows he's mainly machine.
And when they see each other, he knows that he's in that in the suit when they face off in A New Hope. They recognize each other.
What's up,
$5 in the EU at the end of the new Jedi Order. Boba worked with Han and said it was just business.
Interesting.
Now I can see this. I can see Boba saying that.
Yeah.
I can definitely see him saying that.
Yeah, I can too. I don't know. Do you generally give a number on an episode, like a ratings number? I always try to. I usually go at, okay.
Out of 10, I'll give this one. It was a decent episode. I'll give it 6.5 out of 10, and that's by far the highest one. The other ones were like 3s and below.
Yeah. If I went all the way out of 10, it would be a 7 out of 10.
Okay,
is what I'd give this episode, far and away.
Yeah, but the overall show, overall up to this point is like a 4 out of 10. It's not good overall.
Yeah, I think I can, because I did that for my last review. Well, let's put it this way. I had the show out of 5. I had it at like a 2.25 through 3 episodes.
Maybe I was being generous.
No, that's out of 5 though. 2.25.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because I gave episode 2 after the second viewing, I raised my score.
Well, this episode here just raised up the bar for me. If it was just the first 3 episodes, it'd be like 3, probably 2 and below. I don't know, but I wasn't actually rating every episode.
Yeah,
so I'm just doing this off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, it was God. Episode 3 was monumentally bad.
They were all bad.
I mean,
they were all bad.
I got so much like Rian Johnson off that episode, like the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. Could not stand it. All right. Well, I mean, that's about all I got for our review.
Yep. Let me check, see if we got any Streamlabs here. Donations. Oh, nope. No Streamlab donations. I think we all caught up on Super Chats too. So, yeah, Razin, 4 out of 10 is flunking grades in Romanian educational system. You need 5. Well, even here, a 5 out of 10 is still flunking. It's still an F.
Yeah. Foxy, you're always welcome to come on these. You know that.
Yeah. We may have to do this I like this 7 a.m. start time, but we got a sports show in a few hours. Well, it's 8 o'clock now. Yeah. In like 2 hours, we got a sports stream on Black and White Sports. That we
other than Wednesdays, this time slot might be a political show on a different channel, actually.
Yeah, Black and White Network.
Yeah.
Overall focus is probably going to be on the streaming part. That's what we're doing on Black and White Sports, and it's working out really, really good. It's working out really good, better than what we thought.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Anything else, Rhodes?
Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe and make sure you check out the merch. We're running a 25% off sale through the end of tomorrow.
So and also become a channel member too. Click the join button. 2 different ones. The $5 tier. And we also have the $20 tier where you actually get to be on live streams with us. So since we monetize again, we lost all our memberships before. That sucks. Now I got to ask everybody to become members again. And if you do that, you can see the perks. So that's pretty much it, guys. And once we get enough members, then these streams will pretty much go to members only, the same way we do it on Black and White Sports. And we'll start clipping out stuff.
Yeah.
So, yep. All right. That's it, guys. You guys be safe. We will catch you on the next live stream.